quiet American town, a fire has been burning for more than 60 years. Not in a factory, not in a power plant, but underground. An invisible inferno slowly consumed streets, homes, and entire neighborhoods until almost everyone left. Today, smoke still rises from the ground. Roads crack apart from the heat below. And somewhere under the abandoned town, the fire is still alive. Centralia was once a normal mining town in Pennsylvania. Like many towns in America's coal region, it existed because of what was hidden underground. Coal mines brought jobs, money, railroads, and thousands of people. At its peak, Centralia was alive with miners, churches, schools, diners, and busy streets. But beneath the town lay something dangerous. A maze of old underground coal tunnels stretching for miles. And one mistake would eventually turn the entire town into a disaster zone. In 1962, the town wanted to clean up a landfill near the cemetery. Workers set fire to the garbage, a common practice at the time. But the flames reached an exposed opening connected to abandoned coal mines underground. The fire spread silently beneath the surface. At first, nobody realized how serious it was. Officials tried to extinguish it several times. But the tunnels acted like giant chimneys, feeding the fire with oxygen. And soon, the blaze was out of control. The terrifying part about Centralia was that most of the danger was invisible. The fire burned deep underground. Toxic gases began leaking through the soil. Carbon monoxide entered homes. The ground became unstable. In some places, temperatures beneath the surface became dangerously high. And people living there had no idea what was happening beneath their feet. Then came the moment that shocked the entire country. In 1981, a 12-year-old boy named Todd Domboski was playing in his backyard when the ground suddenly opened beneath him. A massive sinkhole appeared without warning. Hot gases and smoke poured out from deep underground. The hole was over 45 meters deep. Todd barely survived after his cousin pulled him out. That moment changed everything. Because now, the danger was impossible to ignore. For years, engineers searched for ways to stop the fire. Excavation, flooding the tunnels, sealing underground passages. Nothing worked. The fire had already spread too far. Eventually, the US government made a drastic decision. Instead of stopping the fire, they would evacuate the town. Families were bought out and relocated. Homes were demolished one by one. And Centralia slowly became a ghost town. Today, almost nobody lives in Centralia. Most streets are empty. Nature has started reclaiming the town. Trees grow through cracked asphalt. Old buildings disappeared long ago. Only a few roads, cemeteries, and scattered structures remain. It feels less like a town and more like the ruins of a forgotten world. One of Centralia's most famous locations became known as the Graffiti Highway, an abandoned road covered in colorful graffiti, where smoke sometimes rose directly through the asphalt. The highway became a strange tourist attraction, a place where people could literally see the earth breathing heat. But eventually, officials closed it off for safety reasons. Because beneath the pavement, the fire still burns. Experts believe the Centralia fire could continue burning for another 100, maybe even 200 years. Because underground coal fires are incredibly difficult to stop. The fire slowly moves through coal seams beneath the earth. Sometimes quietly, sometimes violently. And as long as fuel and oxygen remain, the fire survives. A disaster that began decades ago may continue long after everyone alive today is gone. Centralia is more than just a ghost town. It's a warning, a reminder of how small human mistakes can create disasters that last for generations. For decades, people built homes, schools, and lives above something they barely understood. And when the disaster finally appeared, it was already too late. Today, Centralia stands as one of the strangest abandoned places in America. A silent town above an endless fire.